These medicinal mushroom and ginger hard candies turned out great, and I'm actually really surprised. I've never made candy before. I am so proud of myself. I got to share this recipe with you. It is so simple. Now, first off, I know mushroom and ginger sounds like a weird flavor for candy. You can't actually taste the mushroom in these. And the point is to be able to use whatever medicinal herbs you want in your lozenges, or whatever flavors you enjoy in your candy. But we start this recipe with 1 cup of very strongly flavored liquid. In my case, I had harvested some turkey tail mushrooms, which have medicinal properties, and I love ginger, and ginger is wonderful for you as well, so I used ginger, and a little bit of clove and cinnamon as well. After thoroughly washing my turkey tail mushrooms and my ginger, I pulverized them in a food processor, added them to a pot with a couple of cups of water, as well as my cinnamon and my clove. And this I'm going to boil and reduce to about half the liquid for about 30 minutes. I want a really strong liquid, and I only need 1 cup of liquid for this recipe. It is a 1-to-4 recipe, 1 part liquid to 4 parts sugar. So in my case, I'm using 1 cup strong ginger mushroom liquid to 4 cups of sugar. After I strain out my liquid, then I'm going to measure out a cup back into a pan, add 4 cups of sugar. Now this recipe makes quite a lot. This little jar here has about 100 lozenges in it. I could have easily filled 3 times as many of these jars doing this recipe, so keep that in mind if you need to cut it down. After I got my sugar and my water mixture, I'm going to put it on medium-high on the stove. Make sure you've got a lot of headroom in that pan. This stuff foams up like crazy. I was not expecting that. I just kind of lucked out having the pan be big enough compared to how much liquid was in there. So you don't want to have too small a pot for this process. You put the pot on the stove, medium-high heat, stir it until it starts bubbling, until it starts boiling. Once it starts boiling, you don't have to stir it anymore, but you do have to check in on it periodically to see when it's at that hard crack stage. Now, if you have a candy thermometer, that is the best and most reliable way to check that. I did not have a candy thermometer, so I did the cold water test to see when it was at the hard crack stage. What that means is I would periodically take a little bit of the mixture out of the pot, drop it into a glass of ice cold water, and the first couple times I did this, it just kind of globbed up on itself on the bottom. That's not what I'm looking for. And then you can see here, I put it in this time and it formed this sort of crystalline structure. It immediately hardened into these hard candy threads. And that's when you know it is ready. Now, take it off the heat. And this is where having your molds prepared ahead of time really, really helps. I had some of my molds prepared ahead of time, but not all of them. In my case, because I didn't want to invest in candy molds, having never made candy before, I tried the cornstarch method, and it worked really well. All you do for that is you take a pie pan or a shallow dish that has an edge on it, put cornstarch in it, flatten out the cornstarch, and then make little divots, little holes with like the back of a spoon. And each one of those is where you're going to pour some of that candy in, that hot candy liquid, and that will be your mold essentially. So this is what I did. I took the stuff out with the spoon and I poured it in the things, and it globbed into a little glob. And that was it. All I had to do after that was let it harden, and then I could just pull them out of the cornstarch. They are not for as much ginger as I used in here, they're not as they don't have as much of a kick as I expected them to. They're actually quite mild. Distinctively gingery. They taste kind of like gingerbread. Can't taste the mushrooms at all in these ones because those turkey tail mushrooms have a very mild flavor. It's easily overtaken by the ginger and the cinnamon and the clove. But these are great. A little lozenge, coat your throat, give you a little immunity boost for the cold weather here. So if you've never made candy before, don't be intimidated. It's super fun. I did burn myself once. I won't lie about that. I definitely burned myself, but it was still a fun process. And 10 out of 10 would recommend. Very simple, very easy recipe. I'll put it up at the end of this video here too.